Hello guys, welcome back to Qatar 22 by M&G Media. It is your host, Brandon Serta, and thank you guys so much for all the love and support that you guys have been showing. I know that this is just the beginning, and we're just trying to grow every single episode. So we finished with Koa and Carlos and Mede. We're actually going to go into another one of my former players, one of my brother's former players as well, that he used to play with. Former FC Dallas Academy player, UNC player, draftee from FC Dallas, and played as well at Union Omaha and Loudoun United. My friend Giovanni is going to be joining us today on the pod. And in a minute, I'm going to go ahead and bring him in. We're going to talk a little bit about the World Cup. We're going to talk about his career coming up next. Alrighty, guys, this next guest, I used to play with him, used to train with him, and his dad as well. He's a very good friend of mine, and it's been a long time since we've spoken, so this is a great time to bring him onto the show. Please welcome Giovanni MontesDeOca.
What's up, my boy?
What up, my guy? Did I pronounce that right?
You pronounced it all right. It's MontesDeOca.
MontesDeOca. I'm going to bring your volume up a little bit. Go ahead and speak a little bit.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, all right. I got you, man. Man, what's up, man? It's been so long since we've spoken, man.
Man, it's been a long time, but, just like always with friends, the first time we did come back again, it just feels like, we left all right, when we last talked. So, and I just want to say I appreciate you bringing me on the podcast. This kind of cool thing you're doing, whatever, for your class, and just trying to get exposure to this World Cup.
For sure, bro. Cool. For sure, bro. And, man, and bringing all my former teammates, former coaches, former whoever, to just kind of discuss arguably one of the greatest events in the history of sports, period, that's coming up next month. Man, we're getting close to it, man. So I wanted to bring you on and kind of hear your opinions, hear what you had to say, bro. But before we get started, we're going to kind of start off with a little icebreaker. I know being on a pod can be a little nerve-wracking, so we're going to start off with a little icebreaker. We're going to start off by asking you, bro, who is your favorite teammate of all time and why?
Favorite teammate of all time. Wow. Man, I've had so many.
Dude, it could be growing. It could be growing up. I know you put my brother. You played with Weddle, and I know you had some time in UNC, and obviously as well. It could also include any time you were at any level.
Yeah, no. I mean, obviously I played with Weston McKennie. Played with a couple guys that are in MLS right now. Man, I think the teammate that had the most impact on me, his name was Santi. We actually roomed together and. Going into our senior year in college, we were kind of the leaders of the team, and he pushed me and I pushed him, and I think it was just a great bond that we built just through hard work. And even though, like I said, I play with great players, I think he's the one that pushed me the most to be better, to eat healthier, and yeah, I think he was a great teammate, great friend of mine, and yeah, I think he was my best teammate that I played with.
No, absolutely, dude. I know you played with the guys in the academy, but it's good to hear that, obviously you had some time with Weston, who is going to be featured next month in the World Cup. But, anytime you get to room with somebody, I know that kind of connection that, you can grow with somebody. With Santi, did you dormed with him, correct? Whenever you first arrived to UNC?
No. He actually transferred in his junior year from UCLA. So we actually just stayed off campus. We just lived off campus together.
Yeah, off campus is definitely better than freaking, staying in the dorms, because you have your own bathrooms, you have your own kitchen and stuff like that.
Right.
What position was he? Was he center back?
Well,
was he center?
A forward.
Okay.
He was a forward. So we actually both played up top. So we played a 4-4-2, and it was me and him up top leading the charge.
Dude, that is awesome. Yeah. Anytime you play up top with somebody, I know the kind of connection you can grow, man. And especially with you, man, I know the kind of bond that you can create with your teammates, like you have with my brother, like you have with Weddle, Angel, Richard. Everybody's kind of still close in your life, man. Moving on to the next question, bro. Who is the best player or team you've ever played in your career. Now, obviously, I know you've already mentioned the guys from the FC Dallas Academy, so you can kind of switch it up a little bit. Maybe a guy you went up against, or the best team.
Best team I played. The best team I played was probably in college. It was a Wake Forest. I think it was 2018. Yeah, 2018. They actually had a big team that year. I don't know. There's some guys like John Bacchietto. He played in the league a little bit. Ima Tumusi, he plays at FC Dallas right now. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right, but I think that team was really good. And obviously in the championship, I played a couple good teams on there, like Charlotte Independence and Tampa Bay Rowdies. Like those two teams were the top of the league, and playing those guys. Some guys that played in Europe, like Fuchs, he played at Leicester City, played against him. It was a cool experience. And another guy that was on that team that played at Manchester United too. So,
dude, I think
playing against them, that was pretty cool.
No, that's really cool, man. And we actually, my previous guest that I actually just posted right now, for episode 3, actually, he's going to be, I think he plays tomorrow, for the knockouts with Charlotte Independence, and obviously he's teammates with Fuchs. So that's really crazy how small of a world this is, and those are some of the toughest teams you've played. What made them tough? Like, was it more they were more physical, they were more technical, or was it just in terms of the coach had good tactics for him?
No, I mean, it was just a really great team. Like some of those players are playing with Charlotte FC right now. So I think they were just, since last year they weren't in the MLS yet, they're loaned down to them, to Charlotte Independence, and they just had a great team, like everywhere, really.
No,
they're very technical. They just got into the better spaces, experience. That's what it comes down to, and that's what it felt like playing in that game, because they crushed us like 4-5-0 that game.
It's always cool to get humbled, We've all been there.
And also our team was young. Like, we had the youngest team in the USL last year. We're like 20. So we had a young team too. So playing against more like older guys, like their average 28. So it's a big difference.
No, definitely experience goes a long way, no matter how technical or young your team is. Like some dudes just know how to win, whether it's the last 10 minutes of the game or just to kind of inspire the locker room. Okay, before we move on to the World Cup questions that I have for you, we're going to kind of like, I like to, anytime I have a guest on my show, I like to kind of talk about their career a little bit to kind of show the audience what it takes to be not only a lifelong soccer player, but a collegiate, an academy, MLS draftee, and then also in the USL level. So I know you played with my brother, bro. Your dad was the coach. How was it like kind of, being under that role model your entire life and then switching over to the FC Dallas Academy?
Yeah, I mean, definitely, obviously any father and son, there's always going to be tension there, because obviously your dad's pushing you, and at the same time receiving criticism is not the easiest thing to always take. But I definitely learned a lot at that time when my dad was my coach. We used to go early to training and work on shooting, whether it was working on my left foot or just whatever we saw that game. We always went to training early and did some stuff. I think starting that at a young age and wanting to work hard, and then that helped my transition to FC Dallas. Obviously, playing with my best friends growing up since 4 years old, and then being able to play with them, it was very hard to leave that team, because obviously the brothers that I created there, but I knew at that time it was time to take a step to the next level, and playing in the academy, and at that time that's where all the best players were, playing in the academy. So I had to make that transition. So I did that my U16 year. Luchi Gonzalez saw me at a State Cup game. We're playing FC Dallas. I don't know if you were at that game.
I'm pretty sure I was at that game. I'm pretty sure you scored and celebrated talking to the parents or something like that. I was at every game. Which one was it?
Yeah, I don't know if it's down, but we played the premier team in the State Cup, and I don't remember. We went down Jason got a red card early, and then
it was in the final, right? It was in the final.
Yeah, it was in the final. Yeah, we played 10 minutes for the whole time.
Y'all dogged them too.
Really well. You guys did really well. And Luchi Gonzalez went to that game. He's actually with the national team right now, so the U.S. national team. But he's the one that saw me and brought me to the academy. And yeah, so I made that transition. Normally, from going to kind of being the best player in your team to going to a team where everybody was the best player on their team also. So it was very good competition-wise going from to FC Dallas. And then obviously, the first team, I got to train with them a lot too. So that was a good help in my career playing at that level too in those training sessions to see what what that level would look like at a young age at 16 and then at 18 also. So yeah, man, I think, being under my father and having players, my uncle that played professionally, I definitely had a lot of things that, I learned from them that I took with me.
Yeah, no, I agree with you, man. Every time, like I said, I went to go see you play, you could definitely tell the level. It was different because the teams that were really competitive, almost every single player on that team could basically say they were like one of the best players on their team. And then now, like I said, most of the teams that you're playing against, everybody once was that guy on their team, and it just makes every training session, it makes everything, even more competitive than, like I said, a normal practice with Pumas. No offense to you guys. I freaking love you guys. No,
100%. Yeah.
I still remember. 100%. Yeah, I still remember my first training session with you guys, dude. I think I was still hitting the size 4 ball, and I think I broke my ankle trying to hit a 5, and then also too, bro. There's this one training session. It was a conditioning session. I think you know which one it was. It was at Keys Park.
Oh, Keys Park. Yeah.
And I think afterwards, I really questioned what I wanted to do, if I wanted to keep playing or not, because that was a level that I've never been pushed before. But definitely thankful that, like I said, your dad and your uncle too, which used to play with the Kansas City Wizards, I believe.
Correct.
He has that picture with Zidane. What kind of motivation did that give you whenever you kind of about to proceed into the collegiate career?
No, yeah, I mean, my uncle would always give me advice constantly. When he was a senior player and my training habits, he was kind of push me, to always be better. And same as my grandpa too, man. He was my first coach. He always pushed me. I don't know if you ever got to train with us in the summer, but his training sessions were deadly, and they're very old school. But he pushed you to your max, and everything was 110%. Yeah, man, I just really fed off all the people that had in my corner, and I'm very grateful for that because it really pushed me. And yeah, man, I'm super, super grateful for that.
No, for sure. Moving forward into your UNC career, I remember I was at the table one time with my mom, and because obviously your mom and my mom are really good friends, and they speak quite frequently. And I remember one time I think your mom told my mom that that you were going, like when you first got to UNC, you were kind of, struggling to kind of just adjust to whether it's the level, the location, just everything. You were kind of thinking of necessary, like moving, transferring, giving up, but you kind of faced through the adversity and you ended up winning the number 10 and the captain armband. Kind of talk about what you went through in those moments, the lows, the highs, just everything. Was there a certain experience that you went through that kind of just could motivate the people listening today?
Oh yeah, man. Look, I've experienced everything as a soccer player, whether it's being the guy coming off the bench, not making rosters, tearing my ACL twice. So I've experienced everything as an athlete that you can think of. So in that time when I was my freshman year in college, obviously moving away, being super close with your parents and having to move away, and then getting there. And everybody was at a great level. Having the red shirt my freshman year, which was the hardest thing to take in. Obviously, I remember my coach. He was probably my best coach I ever had, Carlos Anwano. But I remember him telling me in the end of my freshman year, going to my sophomore year, he said, "Yeah, I still don't think you're ready to play yet." And I remember, calling my mom after that, crying, because it's never easy to hear that, you're not ready yet. But at the same time it fueled me, and obviously I got the proper motivation from them as well. But I learned at that moment that whenever I thought working hard was working hard, I wasn't even close to working hard. I knew I had to step up my game and step up my mentality, to work even harder. So that's what I did. That summer I trained extremely hard. I did everything, strength, conditioning, everything you can think of. I did it. Went to my sophomore year, proved them wrong. Started to get more minutes, and then my junior year is when I really took off. And that's when I had my best season in college.
Yeah. Was
so
it? Go ahead.
No, go ahead. You got it.
Oh no, I was going to ask. Like I'm pretty sure you appreciate your coach also being upfront with you whenever he said you weren't ready to play. Like, in that moment, did he tell you a specific skill set that you needed to improve on, whether it was your fitness,
right.
your technical ability, or your decision making, or like what necessarily was it that was holding you back from getting to where you wanted to be?
Yeah, my fitness was a big thing, and my strength. I wasn't, you're playing almost with grown men, so I had to get stronger. I had to get fitter. I wasn't as fit. Obviously, playing as a 9, you kind of, in college, it's a lot about running, pressing. In the academy, I was just so used to, I had great wingers and great players. So I was used to being literally almost a Holland kind of type of player, just in the box, scoring goals. That was kind of my thing. And going to college really taught me what it takes to be a great player at a higher level, where you have to press constantly, press to the center backs, track back, win balls, and then have to go run again. And I just wasn't there at that level to run. So I had to take my running to a different level. And after that, bro, I never lost a beep test. I won every beep test.
That's insane. Smoked your team or what?
I mean, not smoked, but I always won by a couple more runs and stuff. Literally everybody in my team would know, this guy had lungs for the beep test, and I really didn't, bro. I just really ran a lot.
Yeah,
I was putting a lot of miles in. I would do some insane workouts that my uncle had, my grandpa gave me, that we did in training. It was I would just do a lot of hard drills, and I'd go run a mile and come back, do more hard drills, whether it's touches or whatever it is, and then go run a mile again. So, and then going on the sand and doing all these type of different things. But I did it every day. I maybe took Sunday off in the summer, but that was just about it.
Yeah, you made it a part of your lifestyle and stuff like that. And,
right.
And
right.
it sounds like, everything that you're saying, it sounds like you used running to kind of, you probably had a lot of motions. Obviously, everybody that's never played college ball or any high level ball, they don't know what emotionally the toll it takes on you. So it sounds like you definitely use that to kind of just let everything out and continue to improve. And you ended up getting the 10 at UNC, which is a huge deal, and then the captain armband. What moment did you say to yourself, man, all the hard work finally paid off? And what moment at UNC would you say was your favorite? It just maybe a goal, a moment. It had to be just one moment that you can probably pick out from the rest.
One moment, man. Look, so before getting the captain armband, I came off of ACL. I came off my ACL 2019, going into the season, and think about it. It was the best I ever felt. The best I ever felt going into the season. I was slim, I was lean, everything, and I tore my ACL. So I watched the whole season. We had the worst season, maybe in Carolina history, because we didn't ever make it in the tournament that year, my 2019. So I saw that. I saw the downfall that year, looking from outside in. So I knew coming into my senior year, I was gonna have a big task in front of me, because Maudie, he played the Chicago Fire. He was the captain, so I knew it was either me taking over or our center back. So I took it upon myself to start being more vocal in the team, and most importantly, leading by example. So I think my favorite moment is when we made it to the Final Four, my senior year. So after the COVID season, because the COVID thing went crazy, and
dude,
we had a shorter season.
That was a nightmare.
And we ended up playing in the spring. It was in the spring, so 2021. So we had that worst year in 2019, and then we didn't get to play for almost a year. So it was just all that Zoom calls and everything that we did, and it helped prepare us to have the grand fight and make it to the Final Four, coming from a year that we didn't even make the NCAA tournament, and the following year making it to the Final Four. I think helping, being a leader in that time and leading by example and being able to make it that far from the season we had, I think that was my greatest accomplishment
for sure. For sure. That Final Four, I want to say I was watching that game. Were you guys away? No, I know you guys were away. You guys weren't home. Did you guys play Marshall that game? Because I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
dude.
I
don't want to, bro. Did y'all hit like the crossbar or something like that? I'm trying.
Yeah, that was me.
Jesus Christ, bro! I remember when that happened. I literally I was,
bro. I literally still think about that moment today, because if I would have scored, we would have tied it. They only had one shot that game.
Yeah, no, like I said, it was a very.
We had like 8. Yeah.
And the way they won the championship too, like it was very. I'm pretty sure it was like on a golden goal or something like that. I know they removed golden goal, but dude, honestly, I wouldn't even like, as much as you would want to think about it, dude. There's, like I said, it's part of the game too, and
no, obviously.
Yeah, that's the, like I said, even having the opportunity to like hit the goal and creating the opportunity. But obviously, anytime you lose to a team, whenever you create more opportunities, it's always a little bit tough. All right, so moving on from UNC and then kind of going into the draft process. I know I was talking to Koa last episode about his process, and his was a little bit different that maybe from yours, because his, he went through the combine, he went through the draft, didn't get selected, but then teams like Inter Miami, Charlotte were kind of calling him, and he was able to get that tryout and eventually get a contract signed at Charlotte. Take us through your process, and then just kind of how that preseason went with FC Dallas, and then how you were able to begin playing with, I don't know if it's pronounced Loudon or Loudon.
Yeah, Loudon.
Yeah, kind of talk us through that.
So so the 2021 season when I stayed and played, so I got drafted in January, and I didn't even know I was going to be on the draft list, because I'm a homegrown with FC Dallas. They normally have your rights, but me and Mark, we both found out we're on the draft list. We don't know how we got on it, but we were on it. So I was surprised to see him be on the draft list, because we thought, we're going to go back to FC Dallas, whatever. But they ended up drafting both of us. So me and Mark decided to play the season. So we both missed preseason. So I didn't have a preseason with FC Dallas.
You didn't?
No, I missed the preseason because I stayed to play college. That's when we made the Final Four.
Bro, that's just like terrible timing. I think.
Yeah, it was so terrible. It was a bad timing. Obviously, me missing preseason, obviously, it faltered me in making the first team, because that's a big thing. Being in preseason, you get fit, you get the rhythm with the guys, and I missed all that.
Bro, okay.
So whenever I got done with the season, it was already May. They already had played 5 games, so when I went back and trained with them, they already had like 7 forwards already.
Yeah.
There's really nowhere for me to try and make it or anything. It was almost impossible. So if I trained with them for 2 weeks, I really didn't even get to train, because they were working on playing the team on the weekend. So I was kind of there. I only played like a small sided, but I only got to play 1 scrimmage, and that's it. I did well in that scrimmage, but I didn't get to showcase myself like the way I wanted.
Dude, honestly, I never knew that, bro, and I'm glad we had this conversation, because the moment that you found out that your schedule with UNC and your schedule with FC Dallas conflicted, what was like? Take me through that. Like mentally, would you say you weren't really as focused during the Final Four, like as you wanted to be?
No, I was, because I tore my ACL, so I really didn't have anything to show for. You know what I mean? Like, I can't, because I had tore my ACL in 2019, and COVID happened in 2020, so that's the reason I went even 3rd round in the first place, because I'm sure a lot of teams doubted, kind of coming from an ACL injury. Like, I didn't have much to showcase for, so that was kind of my thought process on playing to get games in. So
yeah, no, dude,
I wasn't really thinking about it too much when I was playing, because I was focusing on trying to win.
Yeah, no, absolutely, and I think I would have never thought that those two conflicted, but at any time, you're speaking to somebody that went to a preseason late and understands that being there from day one is very important because, I mean,
Yeah.
like people they're earning spots. So if you come in late,
Yeah.
like you got to wait in line a little bit because somebody's already earned some reps. Somebody's already earned the first opportunity that's going to come in the first preseason match or in the first match of the season. So no, that's definitely kind of crazy. And, but
Yeah.
that happened. All you can do is shake it off. Now you move on. How did them, like I said, the process of getting sent to Loudoun, take us through that, and then obviously you were at Omaha.
Right. So it was either I would have signed with North Texas. I had the opportunity to sign with North Texas, but I wanted to play in the championship at least. So this United, they thought about drafting me, but they kind of knew or expected FC Dallas to grab me due to being homegrown. So my agent spoke with them, and then I went to Loudoun. Very interesting place.
What was interesting about it?
The living situation was bad.
Take us through it, bro. Take us through it.
Bro, I was literally almost living, like, you can ask anybody, like, the living situation is so bad, like, it almost looks like not like a prison, like, I can't even describe it. You'll have to look it up for yourself to see, but the rooms were terrible. They were so small, like, it was like a dorm, but in a hotel.
You were living in a dorm at a hotel? And
no, it felt like a dorm. Like, the room was probably like the size of the room I'm staying in now. But this room is way better. Yeah, man, it almost was like it felt like a prison, almost, kind of.
All right, you hear that, Loudon? Get your living situation better, man. Gio deserve better than a prison. That is crazy. Bro,
I didn't want to, because, obviously I learned a lot being there, but I just don't want to. The experience was interesting. I'll tell you that.
No, I would never expect
anybody around. You can ask anybody around that played or had teammates that played, and they'll tell you the same exact thing.
That's the first thing I'm doing once this pod is over. I'm going to search a living situation for Loudoun. I will tell you right now, being in a dorm or being in a small space, I'm kind of claustrophobic. So I feel like I need a little bit of space where I could put all of my things and feel like I'm not kind of like congested into an area.
Yeah, but other than that, it was a great level. The only bad thing is, like, the players at DC United would get dropped down and to play with us, and those guys had to start. So even though if you had a great week and they get dropped down, it's like, kind of they had to play them since you're signed with the first team.
No, absolutely.
So that was kind of like a big problem too, and so it was just every game there was a different lineup. Like, we didn't have the same lineup like two games in a row.
Did you feel like maybe DC United kind of didn't care as much for the Loudoun team? Because, I mean, in order to be successful, bro, you got to have like some kind of like consistency in the lineup.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, there wasn't too much consistency. It was always changed. It was always a changed lineup. And I guess DC United just used Loudoun to get reps for the guys that weren't playing too much, so they could stay fit. And
absolutely,
that's just the way it goes.
Yeah, any successful team I've been on, I feel like whether it was with Diablos growing up playing with Texans and here at MSU, like right. anytime I felt like we've really done well is because there was a consistency in lineups. You gain chemistry, stuff like that. So. That's very difficult to go through, especially if you're having a great week at training, and somebody, freaking Wayne Rooney comes and takes your spot. but nah, man. So with you going to Loudoun, that's around the Northeast, and now you went to Omaha. Kind of take us through that before we jump into the World Cup segment of this podcast.
Yeah, so in this past off season, I was kind of up in the air coming back to play again because I had that terrible experience out loud, and kind of took the joy of the game from me a little bit. I understand, like, there's a lot of politics in the game and just other things, the pay and etc. It's not the best playing in these lower league divisions. And you kind of just start to think, if it's worth it or not. But anyways,
Yeah, I was thinking about. Hold on. I was thinking about asking you about like the pay and stuff like that. I mean, if you're comfortable sharing it, would you mind sharing like how players are compensated, what the salary cap is, and stuff like that?
Yeah, I mean, typically the average compensation, I'm gonna say average, um, maybe 1,000 a month, and that includes they pay for your housing and they give you breakfast and lunch. So the only things you really have to pay for is just your dinner and obviously gas or whatever to the practices and stuff like that. But that's the average pay right now in the USL.
Yeah, and then basically with all of the prices going up with gas, food, and everything, at a certain point, you're just trying to make ends meet, and it's a very difficult career to try to everybody wants that salary raise to go into the MLS or go overseas and stuff like that. So I can
Yeah.
assume it was pretty difficult. But like
Right.
you went to Omaha, and was that experience at least better than the one at Loudon?
Oh yeah, the living situation is better. You know how they treat us is much better. Yeah, I mean, they almost kind of like a professional, like real. I mean, we're all professionals when I was last year, but it just feels more like they treat you more like professionals here.
No, for sure, absolutely.
Yeah,
Um,
but I mean, and then I'll say, yeah, and then going on to the season, we actually had a great Open Cup run playing against MLS teams. Uh, I played against Chicago Fire, and we were able to beat them in overtime and PK.
you
That was
played
an
a you,
awesome
you
game.
played a former teammate too, right? It was I think it's that
Yeah,
center
it
back.
was Maudi. Yeah, Maudi.
Yeah.
But he actually didn't play that game. He didn't play that game.
Damn. Did y'all exchange shirts?
No, that would have been cool, but like I said, he wasn't on the pitch. Like he was watching in the stands. So like him and Shaka, they were watching in the stands.
Bro, that's what's up. No, Open Cup was definitely cool. I actually got to play in it as well. I had class that morning, and then I drove down to Denton, and then we hosted freaking Nikki. What's it? Coach Hernandez's team,
Oh yeah, Heritage. Yeah,
DKSC
yeah,
or
DKFC. Yeah,
DSKC or whatever.
yeah.
And freaking, we lost 3-2. I scored, but dude, the referee had a shocker, bro. Like shocker. Oh,
I
Juanito,
think
did you
I
see?
remember watching that game. I think I watched some of it.
Bro, Juanito, we're neighbors here at MSU, but
Yeah,
bro,
no.
this man smacks it in the goal and saves it in the last minute of the game. Freaking Carlos goes and gets a red card, but it was funny. It was a good experience though. But um, that's cool how they can kind of combine all of the different clubs and with Omaha. Before we jump into the World Cup section, bro, I actually haven't told anybody this, but um, I actually tore my meniscus 6 weeks ago, and
I was just telling me.
yeah, I'm pretty sure. Wait, who told you?
John, your
John,
brother.
yeah, I know y'all have a group
Yeah,
chat and stuff like that, but yeah,
yeah.
I tore my meniscus 6 weeks ago. I just had my appointment, and I'm about to begin biking. But for anybody that's kind of had those injuries, or anybody in the audience is kind of going through the same thing, person like me, what can you kind of give advice, if there's like one sentence that you can give advice to kind of keep going and to try to get that recovery?
Yeah, I mean, I just tore my ACL in April, so I'm 5 months out now. Um, this is my second time, um, and I tell you, it doesn't get easier for me. This one is much harder than the first one. But if I would say one sentence, I would say it's a process. Take it day by day. Don't think about the end goal. Be present in the moment and, and work hard.
Absolutely, bro, and that's what I'm going to
Yeah,
try to do.
yeah.
Definitely, if you're home during Thanksgiving in the wintertime after I graduate, bro, we should definitely get like a workout in or something, even if it's just a freaking
Um,
little bike ride, just trying to get this knee going again, so I can, at
yeah,
least
man.
for sure.
It's for sure that the knee injuries are not easy to comprehend sometimes. I was in a little depressed state this year with this second one. It's like why. So
Yeah,
patience.
go ahead.
Go ahead.
Oh,
No,
sure.
I'm saying it's you got to be really patient, man. Just you got to be really, really patient. I think that's one thing that this teaches you is patience. But at the end of the day, adversity happens to us all, and they come in all different shapes, sizes, or whatever. But it's always about how you respond to things, and we have a good attitude about life. Because we only live one life. People die every day, so it's really nothing too much to complain about. Especially when I see people in wheelchairs and stuff like that. It gives me all the gratitude in the world to be positive about my situation. So,
bro,
that's about perspective.
That's literally what I was telling my mom the other day. I was like, I see a lot of people complaining, and they're on their 2 feet, and they have 2 hands, and they're breathing, and they're healthy, and it's like, bro, like the thing that I've really learned is like we're really blessed, man. At the end of the day, and that's kind of like you're more appreciative of the little things. I appreciate you sharing that, and I'm definitely going to use that to my advantage to take it day by day. So we went through our icebreaker. We got to learn a little bit about your favorite teammates, best players you've gone against. You've played alongside some of the guys that are going to be featured in November in Qatar. Now we're going to kind of jump into the best part of the podcast. Next month we're going to be freaking treated. It's going to be a lot of good games going on. Who are your favorites to win the tournament? I already know this question. I already know this answer. Suey. Damn. You got Portugal winning it, huh?
No. It's a joke. Man. Brazil has a strong squad. We always say that every year, but it really looks like they have a strong squad this year. What team was I thinking about that looks really good also? Man, I was talking about this the other day with my teammate.
I mean, everybody's been saying Brazil, man. I don't blame you.
Everybody's been saying Brazil.
I
was thinking about another team, and I can't think about it. Who are the top teams?
The top teams. So the two teams that are favored to win the tournament are Brazil and France, just because France is the returning favorites, and they have
right.
the likes of Mbappe and then Ballon d'Or winner Benzema up top.
Right. Right.
And then obviously, with Brazil, you have literally every position. They're really good at. But you said see. So you secretly want obviously Ronaldo to get
obviously to get the World Cup. Obviously, he's going through a little situation in Man U, but I just hope Portugal can come together. I mean, I feel like they have a great squad too in every position. Cancelo, Rafinha, Dortmund. They have a good back line. Pepe and the guy at Man City, blanking on his name.
Yeah. No, absolutely, dude.
And then their center mid, that Paulinho from Fulham. That guy's a baller. He's playing well over there. And
he is a baller.
Bruno Fernandes. They have a lot of great pieces, man.
Yeah.
So but obviously Jota's out now, so that's kind of like a.
Yeah, when I saw that news, I was like, no way.
Yeah.
My first guess that I had, he's a big Ronaldo fan and Portugal fan too. So I sent him the text message and he was gutted. But I think they'll be able to. That guy that does he play for? I want to say he plays for Leipzig. They have a forward at Leipzig too that plays, and I know.
Yeah. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
His name is Antonio. No, Silva.
Yeah, it's Silva. Yeah, he's definitely a Silva. Okay, so we're going to actually make the predictions. Okay, so here I have the accolade. Who do you think? Like, I'm not saying like, okay, you got to pick your favorite player because I honestly know Ronaldo. But who, if you were to put your house on it, who will win the Golden Boot?
Who will win the Golden Boot?
That's a good question. It's a good question because, I mean, You could say whoever you want, but it's like whenever, like if you were to, you know, put out the coins in the table, who's gonna win the Golden Boot?
I can see Benzema, Harry Kane. Mm, who? I'm gonna have to go with those two, or I can see low key Ronaldo doing something. I don't know though, but
You don't? Yeah, no. Last World Cup was for sure his best one, and he
yeah, for sure,
I want to
yeah.
say he was one goal behind Harry Kane, or he tied Harry Kane for the Golden Boot. But I think Harry Kane
No,
had him by a goal.
okay.
Yeah, Harry
Yeah,
Kane
got
had
him by a goal.
by 6. If I was to put my money on it, for the Golden Boot, I don't know why, but I feel like Benzema is going to either him or Mbappe, bro. I feel like
That's what I said. I'm cool with either of those two because Benzema, he scored. I feel like he scores every game now.
no, he
This guy,
really does. He
he's like
really does.
unreal, bro. He's unreal. He just came back to play Barca and he scores, bro. This guy scores.
No, and you play as a 9 too, so the finishes that he was making, which one do you think was the most impressive from last season that he had? Whenever he obviously had that Champions League campaign.
Ale Madrid. Bro, that header, bro, was sick.
Dude, the header.
He's going backwards and having to hit it across. No, bro, that's insane.
I think it had everybody on in shock whenever like he hit that. I also think his one of his finishes versus City, his first one, because he had no, that was against Chelsea, because he had, I don't know, he had this crazy finish, left-footed guy on him, and I don't know how he scored it, bro, but I think he's gonna win the Golden Boot. And
yeah, bro, I can see. That's why I said Benzema too, bro. This guy, bro, he scores every game.
absolutely,
That's unbelievable, bro. He's unbelievable.
yeah.
At 34 years old, having to be in the shadows for so long, and now he came to the spotlight. He's killing it right now.
No, absolutely, dude. And then, so you obviously, you told us the Golden Boot. There's 3 total accolades in the tournament. There is a Golden Boot. There's best overall player. Who do you think is going to be the best overall, not just top scorer? Who is going to make it the furthest in the tournament and actually play a part in the key games? Produce for sure.
Man, I'm still gonna say Benzema's up there. De Bruyne, I can see it depends how Belgium does. I can never count out Modric. He's always insane.
Mm-hmm.
Somehow Messi always does unreal with Argentina.
Yeah.
Compared to his league, to his club teams, so he could potentially do something as well.
I think
because those guys fight for him like no other. So
for sure, I think Messi. I think he could maybe get the most assists. I don't think he'll get the most goals, just because.
He's calmed down on his scoring these past 2 years for some reason.
Oh yeah, I've seen that all over Twitter, man. Trust me, I see every meme that the 6 goals in the Uber Eats league. Trust me, I see it. But yeah, honestly, I think player of the tournament is going to be Neymar. I think he's going to. I think he's going to play every minute. Brazil's probably going to make it far. He takes free kicks, he takes penalties, takes corners. I just think he's gonna have too many goal involvements not to be considered for best player of the tournament. I know we were kind of touching on Ronaldo. What can you make of the situation that's going on right now with him?
It has to do with last season and his ego, and it still feels like he can play at that high level.
Yeah. I still think he can. I still think he
can too. I just understand that with just saying that you don't necessarily need to press, to be effective all the time.
Yeah.
They keep saying that that's a big issue, that he can't run or whatever, but he scores goals. You know what I mean? Like, you don't see Harry Kane or those guys running like insanely, bro. You got to have the legs to finish in the box.
No, big moments too. Like last year, I remember like every other game he was taking his shirt off celebrating in the last minute.
Yeah.
But no,
insane, bro.
I just honestly, I think what's going on is the fact that they got a new manager in Ten Hag, and
He's trying to change the culture.
Yeah, he's trying to change the culture. He's trying to establish dominance, and anytime you have two alpha dogs in one locker room, it always comes out like this. So I hope they could figure out that situation, but he's not going to be featured this weekend against Chelsea. My roommate's a big Man United fan, and I always give him banter about him not being able to play against top 6 teams. So, but like I said, like as many jokes as I make, I really do hope that he's able to come back and at least kind of get some rhythm before the tournament, because we all want to see a Ronaldo and Messi game. That's all we want to see. One of the last segments that we're going to have in today's podcast, we talked about the best players. So we're going to rank them. We're going to create, or G is going to create a top 10 players of this World Cup. So we're going to, it could be any position. In fact, you should probably include every position, at least one goalie, at least one defender, right? Okay. So you're going to start with number 10. Who is your number 10 ranked player of this list?
Ooh, I'm gonna have a defensive name. Who should I go with? Casemiro.
You're gonna go Casemiro at number 10. Not a bad pick at all. Manchester United is probably had the best game so far recently. So not a bad pick at all. You got number 10, Casemiro. Number 9, who are we gonna go with?
Man, Kepa's playing unreal for Chelsea right now. I can see him starting at Spain. It depends if he goes. I'm going to go Courtois at 9.
Courtois at 9. Great choice. That's everybody's safe choice to get the best goalkeeper. He finished top 10 in the Ballon d'Or race. So, unbelievable player. And he got the Golden Glove last World Cup as well. So, so we have Casemiro, Courtois, and who we have at number 7. Or no, number 8, my bad.
Number 8. I think who's in the World Cup. I'm gonna go Van Dijk.
Virgil van Dijk. A team that we have not talked about much with Netherlands. Obviously, they're in the group with Senegal, Qatar, and Ecuador, which I believe they should make a great run after not being featured in the last World Cup. So Van Dijk, gonna lead a good team, good young team, I believe. So got Casemiro, Courtois, Van Dijk. Now we're going on to number 7. Great list so far. So you've already listed your center back and your goalkeeper. So now you can kind of move on to the attackers, the wingers, the mids, the forwards.
I'm gonna have Messi at 7.
Messi at 7. All right, guys. Thank you so much for coming on the podcast. No, stupid.
I'm doing this for banter too.
Nah, you did. Yeah, no. You gotta have a little bit banter.
I mean, come on, bro. He has 7 Ballon d'Or. Tell me if that's right?
Yeah, you're right. LM7. I got you. I feel that. So we have Messi at 7. Honestly, I'm not mad with it. I mean, I feel like there's players that are in better form than him right now. So 7 is not a bad place at all at his age, for sure.
I'm going to have Ronaldo at 6.
Ronaldo at 6? You should have him at 5, because he had 5 Ballon d'Ors.
He should have 6. That's what I'm saying, 6.
Nah,
robbery.
I think Loa should have had one for sure in 2020. But yeah, he should have 6, if we're being honest. So we have Casemiro, Courtois, we have Van Dijk, Messi, and then Ronaldo, and then now we're moving into our top 5. Who do we have at 5?
Ooh. I'm going to go Mane at 5.
Mane at 5, dude. He got 2nd place in the Ballon d'Or race. I had a lot of friends thinking that he should have won it, but, with Benzema's season, great choice. I think he should do well. Do they have? No, they don't have. They have they play, who do they play first? I believe they play Netherlands first, so they might go against your number 8 spot, Van Dijk. So we have Sané at 5, top 4.
And then, so I need a 4. What do I need? A 4th, or what do I need? Or am I on a 4 now?
You're at top 4, yeah. So you're at your 4th spot.
Okay. I'm going De Bruyne at 4.
De Bruyne at 4. Dude, great choice. I was about to say, I was like, I don't hear De Bruyne, and the spots are becoming less and less common. So, De Bruyne at 4. Hopefully, he's gonna be Modric at 3.
Modric at 3. Yeah.
Dude, there's no. I don't know, man.
You don't think so?
No. Like I like it because he has the Ballon d'Or. He's coming off winning or losing in the final, and obviously it was a great run. He has the captain armband, but now you only have 2 spots. So I feel like there should be 3 spots.
No.
Okay, yeah.
I'm gonna switch it. I'm playing Neymar at 3.
Okay.
I'm gonna have the 2 French guys, Benzema and then Mbappe.
Who's second and who's first?
Mbappe's second.
Benzema's first.
Yeah.
So no Modric?
Let's take out Casemiro and put Modric at 10.
Okay. All right. That honestly is a very respectable list. We have at 10 we have Modric, 9 we have Courtois, 8 we have Van Dijk, 7 Messi, 6 Ronaldo, 5 Sané, 4 we have who do we have at 4 again?
De Bruyne, right?
De Bruyne, yeah. De Bruyne was at 4, Neymar was at 3, and then Mbappe at 2, and Benzema at first. Dude, that is a very respectable list. Is there any honorable mentions that you feel that should be mentioned that you couldn't fit in the top 10? Maybe throw in a U.S. men's national team player.
Are we throwing in there Christian Pulisic?
Shoot, honestly, I think Brendan Aaronson's the best one on the team. My opinion, though.
Yeah. But the ball out in the World Cup, it's a little tough.
For sure. In terms of form, though, I think he's young. I think he's got what it takes. Obviously, Pulisic. Go ahead.
Yeah. No, I'll say honorable mentions Harry Kane for sure.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Harry Kane, and then if you want to throw in Lewandowski in there, but he plays with Poland.
Yeah.
There's a lot of good players, but that was a great list, man. Before we get off the pod, go ahead and tell the audience what you got going on in the near future, whether it's with your career, with your family. I know the holidays are coming up. What you got going on in life, man?
Yeah, man. Season, depending how we do tomorrow, it could be over. So I could be heading back home soon. Undecided if I'm going to keep playing or not. So I got that in the near future to think about, but it's looking like I'm going to let go of the game and start pursuing my next career. I just started my MBA degree, so I'm working on getting that completed.
At UNC?
There's a partnership with the league that they have with Bellevue University, and it's a scholarship that I was able to get that's free tuition.
Dude, that is
I'm taking advantage of that.
That is really awesome, man. I'm trying to get my MBA after I graduate here in December too, so I may have to ask you a couple questions in regards to that because I definitely want to, So you're also, you're getting your MBA and, holidays are coming up, man. What else is going on?
Yeah, I don't know. Obviously moving back, so I got to start looking for a place. Trying to live at home for a little bit, but, I've been used to living on my own for so long, I want to keep it that way, so either I think I might go work with my dad, so helping his company and get him back, and just helping the business side and aspect of things, since that's what I'm trying to do for my career. So go and help him with that, and just see what life takes me from there. Kind of living on the day to day right now, and just taking it as it comes.
For sure, bro. I definitely hear you, and I support. Like I said, you have a brother right here on your side, and then hopefully one day, whenever my brother comes home from Guam, we could all link up like we used to, and then obviously with the World Cup coming up, we should all try to get together for a game, especially the Mexico and Argentina. I think that's gonna be a banger. I was gonna say, you mentioned something about also like coaching.
Yeah, so I'm doing my private one-on-one sessions. So that's kind of my goal when I get back, to help get that back, and obviously build more clientele back in the Dallas area.
Yeah,
I already have a couple, but I'm gonna keep expanding.
If somebody was to, I obviously have a lot of people where in the off season, they would like to get in contact, get some good sessions and stuff like that. Where can they reach out to you? Or is it through Instagram? Is it through Facebook? Phone? Obviously, I'm not gonna put your phone number on here.
No, yeah, you can definitely DM me on IG. I'm _Giovanni M10.
I think
So,
I just pulled up your Instagram right now. If you guys want to get good training sessions in during the off season with somebody who's had experience at every single level, go ahead and follow Giovanni MDO
MDO 10. There you go.
Go ahead and follow
Correct.
him, DM him, let him know what you got going on, what kind of session you want, and then I'm definitely you guys could get in contact for a session.
For sure.
Gio, thank you so much for joining us again and taking the time out. This, it's always nice to have a podcast that obviously I wanted it to be try to get it as 20, 30 minutes, but when it goes to an hour, that just shows catching up and the good talks, man. Thank you so much for coming on the show, man.
No, Brandon, I appreciate you for having me. Remember, people, take life day by day, practice gratitude every day, and I promise you your life will be so much better. So thank you for having me, Brandon.
No, absolutely, man. Like I said, go ahead and follow him on socials, kind of look at what he has going on in his career and with his private sessions going on. And also, guys, make sure to go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe for more content. Let me know who you guys want me to interview next and come on the pod. And, like I said, we're going to try and keep doing this for as long as the semester allows me to. And, like I said, looking forward to bringing more content to the YouTube channel. I can't even say it right, but guys, it is your host, Brandon Serta, and thank you so much for tuning in. We'll see you next time.